Good morning, this is Jennifer with my scrap room, and today we are going to be kitting up Masque of Love from Diamond Art Club. And let me just tell you, this kit is so big, it won't fit on my table for me to be able to do a unboxing for you with my video camera. I can't scoot back the frame that far backwards. I can't zoom out that far out to get this canvas in frame, so I put it up on my island and I took a picture of it for you. It is how big is this sucker? It is a 70 by 93. It's Masque of Love, Josephine Wall. I believe this month is hashtag going JWall. I believe there are some ladies out there that are running that hashtag going JWall with their channels and stuff. Just look it up on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. I don't know if I'm going to add mine to it or not yet. I haven't made up my mind, because it is going to take me more than a month to get this canvas done. Way more than a month to get this canvas done. So I don't know if I'm going to add mine to the official Going JWall YouTube stuff going on out there or not, or if I'm just going to do it here. I am trying some new drill containers. You saw that those were the quarter containers. I found them on Amazon, and I will put the link below. They are fantastic. From somebody listed them in the VIP Diamond Art Club Facebook group. She said they hold about 3,000 drills. I think that's what they hold. Hold on one moment, I need some water. I apologize. I keep getting a frog in my throat. But she said they hold about 3,000 drills, and I am finding that they really, really do. There's a couple of things here you're going to see. It is, I showed you the differences in the drill containers. The smaller drill container was from Close to My Heart, the little bitty one that used to be an accessory holder. The larger one was from Joann's. Those were my two standard drill containers that I've used this entire time, and they're still going to be in rotation. But for the larger paintings, I think I'm going to be using these quarter tubes, and they're made for coin collectors that need to keep their coins archival. So that's where they came from, and I think it was like 100 tubes for $33 or something like that. Not the cheapest in the world, but you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you have to pay for some equipment. So that's what I'm going to be using for this kit, along with my larger cutlery tray, because there are 58 colors and 3 ABs. With this, you're going to see, am I doing it here? I don't know if I'm doing it here. No, not on this one. See the labels off on the right, the little square labels? I am going to be writing a B on those labels. And what that tells me whenever I put it on that particular drill container is there are extra bags that's going to go into that zippy bag, that yellow zippy bag that you guys saw me struggle to put into the napkin holder. When you first put it in there, it doesn't stand up correctly. As you add drills, everything works perfectly and the bag doesn't fall over. That napkin holder from the Dollar Tree just acts like a third hand. So I will put the B, like B for boy, on the label. And then that will tell me for that color, there are spare bags in that yellow baggie. And that just works well for me. Now, I've done minimal editing on this video. The only editing that I did was if I struggled to get the stickers off, or it's allergy season. If I sneezed, I edited that out. You guys don't want to see me stop and have to run and go find a hanky or clean something up, or, you know, if I'd knocked drills over, which I did a time or two. I think Dumpling joins us at some point in this video. And there's also going to be some lighting changes that is going to drive me completely batty in this video. I dropped the drill container right there. I had to go get it. We had storms rolling through. So one minute it would be sunshiny, the next minute it would be cloudy and get dark, and so I would be turning on lights, turning off lights, moving in my studio lights, going, nope, that hurts, that's too hot. So I would turn off my studio lights, and I am working in front of a huge window that I get beautiful natural lighting out of, but the fact that I'm having to turn on a light tells you how dark it kept getting. And this was filmed at 5 o'clock in the evening. So in Texas, that's still pretty bright. I mean, we don't get dark until almost 9 o'clock at night. So 5 o'clock in the evening is still very bright here. So the lighting issues, I apologize in this one because it was just way beyond my control. And I actually did start kitting this up just before I finished Erase. I was getting crabby. You always reach that point in the painting where you just want to be done. And you have like 2 rows, 2 complete rows that you need to get finished. You're like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm not going to be there. It's going to take me 5 years to finish this painting. And in reality, it took me about 5 days. But I was feeling crabby, and I thought, you know what? I just need a change of color. And I filmed this actually on April 30th. And I was like, I just needed a change of color. J-Wall starts, was it April 30th? Yes, it was April 30th. I was like, J-Wall starts tomorrow. I'm not going to make my deadline to get this finished. I was trying to finish Erase before we even opened the Masque of Love because I don't like having 2 kits open at the same time. I have cats. To me, that spells disaster. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going to kit it up. I need some new colors. I need to refocus my brain. I just need to feel like I'm being organizing for a minute. So that's what I did. I just set Erase aside for an hour and pulled out the Josephine wall that I wanted to work on, this kit, and just started kitting up. And just something about organizing even for an hour, the change of colors, just kind of reset my brain a little bit. When I finished up, I pulled the Erase kit back out, and it didn't take me long to finish. I actually finished it in the wee hours of May 4th. And I'm talking wee hours. We're talking 3 o'clock in the morning. I finished it. I was listening to Mrs. Crocheting Coffee. She was doing a whip and chat, and I must have just hit the perfect whip and chat to finish this painting with because she was having kid trouble and lost teeth and cake pops with her youngest daughter, and I was giggling my behind off listening to her, and it just helped me get this painting finished. And she doesn't watch my channel. She doesn't know who I am. It seriously helped me get through finishing this painting, and I love Erase. I had no problem, but I just reached that wall where I just wanted to get done, and I wasn't getting done to my speed that I wanted to get done. So she just kind of helped me get over the finish line. I am completely finished with it. I'm happy with it. In fact, I finished it and dekitted it immediately because I was like, okay, I'm done with these colors. They need to leave. I need new colors. So I dekitted it and I put it away, and I pulled out Josephine wall, and I placed about 10 drills on my Josephine wall, which is this one, and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for bed. So that's exactly how I went to bed that night. But I must have really messed up my sleep schedule because it is now 3 o'clock in the morning on May 5th. Could not sleep. I woke up, went to bed about 9. I woke up at 1. Sat in the bed, scrolled through Facebook for a little bit, trying to decide, am I really asleep, or am I awake, or am I going to be able to go back to sleep? Wasn't able to go back to sleep, so I was like, all right, house is quiet. We're going to diamond paint for a little bit, make sure we're awake. Once we're awake, this is a perfect time to do the voiceover because nobody's awake. There's nobody unloading the dishwasher. There's nobody having his own meeting across the hall that I can hear everybody giggling. There's no cats thundering through the house. So it's perfectly quiet and perfect for voiceovers. So that's what we're doing right here. I don't know about you, but I love kitting up. I love the process of it. I love playing with all of these stickers and trying out new drills and trying out new drill containers, seeing which ones fit in which container, with these new ones, they're all uniform, which makes my soul happy. They're all, I don't have to I don't have to think, okay, which ones fit in which containers. They're all uniform. I think I'm going to love these. I have to work on the lids a little bit. If you see here, I'm struggling just a little bit with the lid. I have some zipper wax. You buy it in the fabric section of the store. I may try and put a link on here for you because I bought mine on Amazon because Hobby Lobby didn't have any. I've always bought it from Hobby Lobby and I couldn't find it, so I had to get mine from Amazon. But you just run a little bit of zipper wax around the perimeter of the lid on the container, and it makes it very smooth to open and close. So with these being brand new, I may need to add just a little bit of zipper wax on a few of them. I'll put the zipper wax in my cutlery tray, and as I find one that is a little bit on the newer side and doesn't want to open and close, I'll just put it on there real fast. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, fix the problem. And this actually, the whole real time to kit this up was just over an hour. So I didn't edit out very much at all. It just, you put a good book on, you put a live stream on, you find an old whip and chat. And I try not to find whip and chats where they're kitting up too, because then you mess yourself up. Especially if it's somebody that wants to read the DMC numbers, which I'm okay with that. That's their way of kitting up. That's, their way of making sure their brain gets the right color in the right drill container. But then I get stuck looking for the color they just played with. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I am naturally blonde. And I get distracted easily. I'm part squirrel. So, yeah, this is me explaining what the labels are that I'm about to do, because I didn't know if I did that already. So I try not to find whip and chats where they're kitting up while I'm trying to kit up, because that just spells disaster. Oh, yeah, I figure out I was going to lift off the sticker, and I was like, it won't lift off, so we'll just do it this way. All done. That's better. I did find some little round stickers after that, because my little organizing soul needs round stickers to go on round jars. I mean, you must do it. So I found some little round ones at Walmart. I picked them up for the next kit. So I made my start time for this painting. Let me write that down while I'm thinking of it. I made the start time for this painting 5:04 because even though it was 3 o'clock in the morning, it was still 5:04. So I know I only placed like 10 drills on the exact painting, but it's a start. I did it. So I made the start date 5:04. We'll see how long this takes me. I am still on the same square I started with. It's been a little busy around here. I have been gardening, and I am trying to build new flower beds in the backyard. I think we talked about this in the last video. I think I was talking about how I'm building flower beds in the backyard from scratch. We've lived in this house for 20 years. I have never done anything in the backyard. We've had a naked backyard for 20 years, and something about turning 50 this year. I will turn 50 in September. I must be having a Steel Magnolias moment where I must grow things. I don't know. But I have decided to grow things, and I'm going to make that backyard beautiful if it's the last thing I do. So what I'm doing is gardening and cerebral palsy don't exactly mix. I'm trying not to make my neighbors have a heart attack if I fall over in the front yard. So I'm kind of staying in the backyard if I'm by myself. I go in the front yard if my husband can sit with me because I do fall over. I do look like a turtle that's, tipped herself upside down sometimes. It could be funny, but if you don't know me, the neighbors get a little distressed if they don't know that I can get myself back up. But I basically am going to Lowe's and I buy 20 paving stones or landscaping stones. I'm not quite sure what they're called, but I guess they're made for retaining walls. They're really big here in Texas. Everybody uses them, but I can only purchase 20 at a time because that's all that I can lift by myself. Pardon me for one moment. Sorry. I know hearing somebody drink irritates some people, but you try talking for 45 minutes without taking a drink. But I can only lift 20 stones per trip by myself. So these stones are heavier than they look. So I go get 20 stones, and then I place 20 stones where I want them in my yard. And my original goal was we'll do this once a week. Go get 20 stones once a week. Go get 5 bags of mulch once a week. But I need to step up the game because the landscapers are getting very confused as to what they're supposed to mow and what they're not supposed to mow. And I can see them out there when they're trying to mow, and they're like, is this a weed or is this a flower? Because all of my flowers in their infancy stage, and sometimes you can't really tell. So I need to get out there and at least get the stones placed, at least so they can see the flower bed and get mulch down. And I'm doing the no-dig method, which is you lay a layer of cardboard. I'm sorry, I suddenly have the hiccups. You lay a layer of cardboard, and then you lay your mulch on top of that. And you just keep it heavily mulched for the first year, and then that kills out the grass. Because I tried digging out that grass. It didn't work. I don't know if I'm just a weakling or if the Texas clay wasn't giving up its grass or what, but that grass wasn't budging. So I looked up different ways of building a flower bed, and this method came up, and I went, okay, this is a method I can do by myself, that I don't need to rent equipment, I don't need to get my husband to come help me, and I can do it by myself. So I've been saving all of my boxes that I get from Amazon, and I basically puzzle piece them together in my flower bed, and I lay a bunch of mulch on top of that, and I just keep going. But I'm gonna have to, probably today and tomorrow, go get the rest of my stone. I may make 2 or 3 trips to Lowe's to get the rest of my stone. And then all I have to do is worry about getting the cardboard and the mulch laid down. But at least the stone will show them what's flower bed and what's really supposed to be grass, and make their life a little bit better. And if you're asking why I'm trying to garden at this age, well, I'm supposed to quote Wheezy on Still Magnolias, I'm supposed to garden at this age. But 2, it is a good way for me to get out and wiggle. Cerebral palsy is very much a use it or lose it situation, and if you don't stay moving, you will stop moving, and I don't like falling down. And so I have figured out that if I keep moving, and if I'm going to have a hobby like diamond painting that involves a lot of sitting, it does with scrapbooking too, I need to find ways of staying mobile and staying healthy so that I can do what I love, which is scrapbook and diamond paint, and now gardening. I'm excited. I have roses starting to bloom out there. So I have to stay mobile, and I have to keep myself going. And believe it or not, gardening will do that. I never believed that gardening was a good exercise, but you get out there and garden for an hour and tell me you don't get tired. It's more than just reach over and pull a random weed. There's some good cardiovascular stuff going out there in gardening sometimes. So it's been making me very, very happy. But on the flip side, I haven't had a lot of time to work on the diamond painting because, if you live in Texas, when you get a cool weather day, you do all things outside. So we get a cool weather day, we play outside. We get a hot day, which on the 3rd, I believe, it was already 90 degrees. Nobody went outside on that day. So it was, the next day it went back down to 70 degrees, and it was lovely. In fact, I took Mom to the doctor yesterday, and I dressed in just a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and flip-flops because that's Texas attire for this time of year. And I almost became a popsicle in the doctor's office because it was cold and I was in flip-flops. And had it not been COVID and all the precautions that are in place right now, I would have ran back out to the car and got my sweater. But that would have meant them giving me a new mask, taking my temperature over again, even though I just went and got a sweater out of my car. And I didn't want to put the staff through having to do all that. So I just sat there and froze. And then when we got finished, this was just her 3-month checkup type thing. When we got finished, I immediately grabbed my sweater that lives in the car and bundled up and just was like, holy baloney, that was cold. And proceeded to wear my sweater the rest of the day. But I also did come home and make a huge pot of wedding soup. My daughter found a really good recipe that she shared with me, and she makes her meatballs differently than I make mine. I found a recipe. Yeah, we're going to talk recipes while we're doing this kitting up, because there's only so many things I can say about these colors. They're gorgeous, but there's only so many things you can say, so we're going to talk about cooking at the moment. I found a chicken meatball recipe that had a lot of the same flavors as her beef meatball recipe, and we were trying to copycat Spaghetti Warehouse wedding soup. We no longer have a Spaghetti Warehouse. I don't think in Texas. I think they all closed nationally. And if you ever had it, it was teeny weeny tiny little meatballs and bits of chicken. And I thought, well, let's just kill two birds with one stone. Let's make chicken meatballs. I made them from scratch. I've never done that before. And Mom had home health come in yesterday. She had the physical therapist come in for the first time. And I'm over there making chicken meatballs and had them in the oven, and they were smelling fantastic. Oh, they smelled so good. And I'm made the poor little guy hungry. And after he finished, I had some eggplant draining, because you salt it and you drain it before you roast it. And I roasted up some eggplant, roasted up some onions, so it had roasted vegetables in it, it had the meatballs in it, and then put all that in the fridge, got the hard part done first, put all that in the fridge, and then later in the evening, I made the stock and put the rest of the vegetables in, the onions, the carrots, the spinach, and the rest of the veggies and the rest of the seasonings and the short pasta, and oh, it was so good. And it was such a soul-soothing soup. My daughter and her boyfriend came over unexpectedly. It was a good day to have a big pot of soup because I wasn't expecting them for dinner, but I will always take them for dinner. Even if it means what I planned on making for dinner goes back in the fridge and we do takeout because we didn't know we had extra people coming. I will always have my babies over for dinner. And oh, there's my dumpling. He's gonna help. Yes. Mommy, what have you got? So I have to be careful because he sticks his face in my scissors. And I'm like, I don't want to cut your whisker. So he was trying to see what I did. He is almost a year old now. And this weather has got both of the boys acting really squirrely. They have been thundering through the house like nobody's business, chasing each other. But he was being such a good boy here. He was just watching. And in a minute, he's going to lay down, and I'm okay. The only time I have heartburn is when he tries to lay on the canvas. I don't want them on the canvas. In fact, with this new one, because it's so big, I'm going to leave the plastic covering on the entire canvas, and I'm sectioning it off with washi tape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a craft knife and a very light hand and trim out. If you hear anything, pardon me, Biscuit and Dumpling are trying to crawl behind the computer at the moment, so pardon any noises you may hear. But I'm going to section off and use a craft knife very lightly to trim the plastic out from inside of the washi tape. He's peeking at me over the computer. And I'll be able to work with it that way, hopefully. I don't like the crinkle noise. Hopefully I can get over that for myself, but I want to be able to leave that plastic coating on the canvas because this is going to take me quite a while to finish. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Dad, don't you step on my computer. So keep your fingers crossed for me that I can actually finish it and do it that way. With this canvas, I'm also starting in the center. So I'm doing the hardest portion for me first. And then I'm going to get the total center finished first. And then from there, I'll be able to rotate the canvas 360 to reach any of the squares that I need to be able to reach. So this one, I'm starting off really, really weird. But I think it's going to work for me in the long run. But also because it's so big, I can't just leave it on my desk. I'm having to completely put it away, or in my case, put it on top of my island for storage when I'm done each day, because it has to hang over both sides of my desk. And that's just way too much temptation for two little kitty cats. And I'm not willing to risk having the canvas bit into or have the plastic pulled backwards. So that's how I'm going to that is how I'm going to end up having to work this kit. Sorry for the tongue twister. So we are still kitting up. It looks like I finally got my groove. It always takes a minute when you start kitting, because you don't know the symbols, you don't know the colors, you're not familiar with how many of each drill packet you have. It always takes just a few minutes when you first start it to really get your groove. If you notice, when I first started, I was working with my left hand and totally spilling things everywhere, until it dawned on me, hey dork, you're right-handed. Let's try pouring the drills with your right hand. And it worked out much better. Much better for me. So I'm just trucking along here. You can see part of my cutlery tray up in the left-hand corner. That is my larger tray. It has 5 slots for silverware, and then that one fat little slot that I use to put my tools in. Works out very well for me. I've got a smaller tray for smaller paintings and a larger tray for larger paintings. I'm about to get a really big brain fart. Okay, where this is coming up at is, if you noticed in the very beginning of the video, I could get 2 bags of drills per container. But I forgot that the drills are by weight. So just because it's 2 bags, doesn't mean that they've got the same amount of drills in each bag. They're by weight. So I didn't realize, I couldn't feel with these bags that they were thicker and fuller than the other bags. And I'm about to make a huge mess. It's not gonna fit. I'm going, these are way more. That's when I finally realized, these bags are bigger. Okie dokie. So what I ended up doing was getting one of my little zippy bags, writing the number on it, pouring the extras back in that zippy bag, and putting it into my yellow zip top bag. And just taking care of it that way. And from then on, I was like, okay, you have to remember it's more than just there's 2 bags and you can get 2 bags per container. These are by weight. And I also have to, because these are longer containers, I have to kind of adjust how I'm pouring, or it just goes everywhere. And I'm still working on that. But I think ultimately these containers are going to work really well for me, because I like everything uniform. I like it lined up. I like it to match. And the other containers, my little ones and my Joanne ones, practically worked. In practical terms, they worked. But aesthetically, my brain kept trying to fix it, because they didn't all match, and I needed them all to match. So I think part of this is going to work really well for me to do that. But the part that it doesn't fix is my need to have all of my drills in the containers with no extra baggies. And that's where the pill bottles came in really handy for me, because I had various sized pill bottles, and I could just dump, if I had 6 bags of 310s, I could dump all 6 bags into the drill container, and I didn't have to worry about keeping up with, I'm getting tongue-tied, I didn't have to worry about keeping up with spare drills that came with the kit that don't fit in the container. So I'm hoping that one tendency kind of overrides the other tendency. My tendency to have everything matching in the same size and coherent overrides my need to have everything in one jar. Keep your fingers crossed for me. It's just not OCD. I'm very organized. Is that a word? I'm very organized. And I love organizing, and I love things to look a certain way. So, the coffee pot's turning off. I guess I probably don't need any more coffee. It's now, I had to stop for a little while. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning. I had to stop midway through. I had a little visitor in the night and couldn't record while that little visitor was in here, so I stopped for a few hours. Had some coffee, had a little peanut butter sandwich in the wee hours of the morning, and now I'm getting back in and finishing this up. I'd like to get it up today, because it is now currently May 5th. And you guys have waited long enough. I've had this recorded for almost a week, and you guys have waited long enough for it. And I just need to sit down, get this done, and get it out there to you. I'm trying to see what I've got left. I don't have much left to do. It was a very, very easy kit to kit up. I don't know if it's because I'm getting better at it. I don't know if because I'm getting used to, not only am I getting better at it, but Diamond Art Club, I'm getting used to the way they do it. Therefore, I'm getting a routine. When you work with the sellers on AliExpress, you don't always know their organization and how they package. You can, even with the same companies, you're not sure how they package. So it's always a learning curve when you're kitting up. But when you work with one company, and I'm not saying just Diamond Art Club, but when you work with one company over and over and over, you learn the way they kit up, you learn the way they organize their kits, and it makes it easier for you to do your process of getting ready to work on that canvas. So I think because I've been leaning more towards Diamond Art Club lately, I'm getting used to the way they package their kits. I love their stickers that they give you. I had a brain fart with this kit. I normally make a copy of the sticker that comes in the package so that I have a spare in case something happens. I can always make another sticker sheet. Totally had a brain fart with this one and didn't do it. But if I need to, I know that I can email Diamond Art Club and they will email me the schematics. And then I can just print it off and run it through my sticker maker. So I'm not overly concerned that I had the brain for it, because I know Diamond Art Club will email the schematic to me if I have any issues. But just, I normally will take that copy and put it in with my spare drills, and that way they're also labeled. So, but now I just need to take my label maker and just make a little label for my spare drills so I know what they belong to. Because I don't leave them on my desk when I'm working, because that's just one more thing for the cat to grab and run off with. So speaking of which, he's hanging out in the window, watching the birds and watching the sun come up and looking for his squirrels. I'm just getting everything organized and scooting things around. With these containers, I'm also not sure what will fit where in my cutlery tray. So I'm just I still put it in order of number, letter, symbol. So I have all my numbers together, all my letters together, and all my symbols together. It's just the easiest way for me to find what I need in my cutlery tray. But with these bottles, I'm trying to figure out the best way to have them stand up. And I found out they stand up really well 2 by 2 by 2. So that's working out. I really need to learn the symbols because I'm spending a lot of time looking for the symbols. So I need to organize those just a little bit better, a little bit different way that my brain thinks. The colors on the key and on the stickers are a little bit off from the colors on the canvas. So if you're looking for, because I think the color that I was looking for earlier was the percent sign. I think I'm pulling this off the top of my head. I do not have the canvas in front of me. But the percent sign on the kit looked orange. But the percent sign on the sticker looked brownish orange. So way browner than the kit or the canvas. So I had trouble matching up because in my head I need an orange sticker. So I look for the orange sticker first. And then I look for the symbol. And the sticker was more brown. So it took me a while to find it. So I need to organize a little bit better, put arrows with arrows and dots with dots and, that kind of thing to make them grouped a little bit easier. But I'll get it. Like I said, I haven't even finished my first section yet. I'm still learning the canvas, and I'm going to get a couple of sections finished before I record a proper whip and chat. I need to be comfortable with the canvas before I try to play and talk at the same time, or it will be a disaster with this kit because it is rather confetti heavy. But I'm enjoying that. I wasn't sure if I would, but I really am. If on the last kit I hit a section that was confetti heavy. I'm getting tongue-tied again. And I just kind of learned or picked out a good system for me to work with that, and I'm going to carry it over with this kit and just one color at a time, one drill at a time. I'm not going to try and do multiple trays. I'm not going to try and, mix multiple colors in a tray. It's one color, one kit. I don't care how many times I have to pull out that color. It will get done. It may just take me a while. Like I said, I marked this kit as a start date of 5/4. We have some events coming up in June that I probably will not be able to work. So I'm anticipating I'm going to try and get this kit done by August. That is trying to get it done, work on it in May. We have birthdays, Mother's Day, our wedding anniversary this month. And then in June, we have some events that I know I'm not going to be able to work on it. July, we are possibly moving my daughter to Colorado, and I may stay with her an extra week. Don't know yet. She's angling for me to drive down there because we're doing a little moving caravan. So she's angling for me to drive down there with the caravan and then me just fly home. I don't know if that's the way I'm going to do it, because I would also like a little alone time with my husband, and we love road trips. So we may just take a couple days, get her settled, and then me just come home with my husband, because I love road trips with him. And we have a rule: as long as nobody has to pee, I have food in the car, whether it be sandwiches or snacks, and there's gas in the car, he can take off on an adventure and I'm good. But if any one of those three things are not met, he has to meet them before he can take off on an adventure. Because we were coming back from, when I was a Close to My Heart consultant, we were coming back from a convention in California, and he figured out the big array was on our route. And I'm saying on our route in air quotes. And I was like, well, sure, if it's on our route, we'll go see it. If you don't know what the big array is, it's in the movie Contact with Jodie Fisher. And he was like, I have to go see this. And I'm like, okay, fine. We'll go see it. It's kind of like the biggest ball of twine. I had no idea what he was talking about, but we'll go see it. It was 500 miles out of our way. But it made him happy. And all of my requirements of I did not have to pee, we had food in the car, and we had gas was met. So off on a tangent we went. And while he was traipsing around, and this thing is in a big cow pasture, there's nothing but all of these huge satellite dishes in this cow pasture, and this itty bitty building that is an observatory. Is that how you say the word, observatory? And then a teeny weeny little gift shop. Well, by the time we got there, the only part that I was concerned with is where's the bathroom. And while he was traipsing through the satellite dishes, I played in the gift shop. Because I figured I'm going to leave him alone, let him do his little nerdy thoughts. I can stay out of his way. I can, buy some cool little nerdy things that I can scrapbook with, because he knew he had to get pictures for me, and he did. Being a scrapbooker, he knows I have to have the pictures, even if I'm not the one enjoying the event. I will scrapbook them for him, and I will be happy to do it. So while he was traipsing around being a little nerd, I was in the gift shop, and we both did something we liked. But it was 500 miles out of our way. But it made him happy. And, sometimes you just got to make your person happy. So anyway, I think we're almost done. I don't know. There's more stickers there. Where's my drills? They might just be out of frame. I believe they're out of frame. You keep seeing me reach over to the right. I have a tiny little, it's not a bar stool, but yet it's not a footstool. It's about knee height little stool that I bought in an Amish store. I have that over to my right, and I have all of the quarter containers sitting on that. I normally keep a TV tray next to me when I do work like this, but I couldn't find my TV tray. I think it's still in storage from when we painted. So I just grabbed that little stool and set it next to me, put the drills on top of that. And that's why you see me reaching over, but you can't see what I'm doing. They're just all over there stacked up. You find little ways of keeping yourself organized when you do this. I do have quite a large work surface, and keeping it reined into camera size for me sometimes is a little bit difficult. I have to remember what my field of range is for the camera. I used to washi tape it out and just have the washi tape on my desk. And quite a few of my videos had that. You could see the washi tape, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. You can see what you can see. I know, without checking the camera 112 times, that you can see what you need to see. And if it doesn't look very professional, so be it. And it worked. So now I just have, I kind of know where my field of vision is. And I try to stay within that. But you can't see things that are sitting directly next to me. And unfortunately, I had to have those next to me. Oh, I've been left. There's no more kitties in the room. It must be take a kitty to work day with Daddy. I think they all went into his office. Yeah, there's not much left. We're getting it. We're almost there. Okay, so it's another one that I'm going to goof, or do I get this one right? Because it is 2 bags. Yay, we did it. It's all in there. I think this is also the first time with these stickers I did not make an error on which drills and what containers. I have to be very careful about that because I have a habit of filling the container and forgetting to put the sticker on it. And then I have to go back and try and figure it out. But I got it with this one. And I got into the habit of not putting the stickers on first when I had all of the different size containers, because I never was sure which container went with what drills. But I think with these, I can actually go through and label them first. I just didn't do it this time because I didn't think about it. But I think with these, I can go through, label them first, and then fill them after that. And it might be a little bit easier for me. So thank you so much for joining me today. I know that you have 101 different channels that you could be watching. I truly appreciate every time that you come and visit with me. I enjoy diamond painting. I get a lot of happiness from it. I hope you enjoy spending a little bit of time with me. I do not make any money off of these videos. I do not have any sponsors. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I do this just for my pure enjoyment, which is one reason why I don't have videos consistent all the time. I'm squeezing it in with other things that have to be done, but I still enjoy it. So I hope you get some enjoyment. I hope you learn a thing or two. And until next time, I'm going to just be quiet for a minute and let you finish watching this really quickly. I think in the end, I'm going to show you my drill tray finished and complete. But I'm going to go ahead and say bye now. So until next time, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. If you have any requests, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to see if I can accommodate you. Until next time, I'll see you later. Thank you so much.